Hello, people of God. Welcome one more time to the 21 Bible characters, a story of someone that God has changed their lives in the Bible. And today we're going to talk about the story of Ruth and Naomi. We're going to see how God has changed their lives. This is such a beautiful story of Ruth and Naomi in the Bible and in the book of Ruth. I will encourage you to go read it by yourself. It's such a beautiful story. It's a love story. So it's one of my favorites in the Bible. And I'm so excited to talk about it today, and we see how God has changed their life, how God have turned their lives around. The story of Naomi shows us loyalty and faith and God's redemption over a difficult time. Naomi and her two children, they were living in Israel, but when the famine came, they were obliged to leave the country. They left Israel to go live in Moab, which was a neighborhood country. But when they were there, husband and the two sons died, leaving behind the two girls, which were Naomi's daughters-in-law. Naomi was living with her two daughters-in-law, and one of them was Ruth. After a while, Naomi decided that she was going to go back to Israel. And then one of the daughters said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm going to stay in my country. And Naomi was fine with it because she wasn't expecting them to actually come with them back to Israel. Because first of all, they were foreigners. They did not know about the God of Israel. So Ruth instead said, no, I'm not going to be left behind. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to be with you everywhere you go. Your country will be my country, your God will be my God. Ruth made a decision to leave everything behind and go with Naomi to Israel and live there. Ruth started a new life in Israel, learning a new culture, and being faithful to Naomi, being loyal to Naomi, accepting a new culture, a new God, of course, in her life. And then it happened that she was working actually in a field, and it happened that the owner of the field, who was Boaz, got interested in her. And Naomi was so wise and did all the necessary things, and then they got together and they got married in the end. What a beautiful love story. This is what we learn from the story of Naomi and Ruth. God has the power to turn hardship into opportunity. We learn that God's grace extends to all people, even those considered the outsiders, because Naomi was Israelite, but Ruth was an outsider. She was from a foreign country, but she couldn't even benefit from anything. But guess what? She was one of those who got into the lineage of Jesus Christ. The story begins with tragedy, but ends with blessing, showing that God can turn hopeless situation into something glorious. Ruth's decision to follow Naomi was an act of faith, showing that stepping into the unknown with faith can turn into a great blessing. You have to know that God's grace is for everyone. God chose Ruth, who was a foreigner, to be in the lineage of Jesus Christ, to be the ancestor of David. No one is too insignificant to be used for God's glory. People might be looking at you today. You might be called an outsider. You might not fit in whatever area that you are in. But know that God's grace is upon you. God can turn your story around. You might find yourself in a difficult situation. Naomi lost everything. She lost her family. She lost everything that she had. But God restored her through Ruth. And Ruth also did not have anything. She lost her husband. She came to a foreign country with a foreign God. But she trusted. She had faith. And then God turned her story around. She married a handsome man, Boaz. God's grace was extended to Ruth, a foreigner who became in the lineage of Jesus Christ. So I want to encourage you today. God is able to change your story around. There's nothing impossible that God cannot do. Don't see yourself too small. Don't see yourself that you are not qualified. God qualifies you and brings you into his family. God bless you.